still think of you. I still think of you. I still think of you. Looking back, I see young, dumb, and naive. But those feels we had, they were ours, some didn't come free. I've been calling these scars a rock-shaped battery. And when you look at the stars, do you ever say my name? I still think of you, stuck on me like an old tattoo. I still think of you. Those days are gone. I wonder if you still think of me too. I still think of you. I still think of you. I still think of you.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. How we doing? How we doing? Look at that red. I had a red spot on my nose. I was looking like Rudolph throughout Christmas. Very festive, but now I wish it would just F off. But there you have it. Happy Wednesday, all. How we all doing? It is the last show of the year. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Happy Hump Day. It is Hump Day. Myles Dyer Live is every hump day. And with me, I haven't done this for a very long time, but I have got a G&T with me in a lovely Christmassy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Look at that design. I love the camera does that. I've got it fixed now, so when I hold something up, it'll go into shot. This was from my best friend Hugh. A lovely gin with a Christmassy glass. And it was actually from a local distillery I always drive by when I go to my parents, from Henley Gin. The Henley Distillery. And I've actually got 4 or 5 gin bottles from last Christmas because I barely drunk this past year, and now I've got another 4. But this is a contemporary twist. Classic dry. And as you can see on it, if it's going to focus, fresh citrus, lime leaf, and Szechuan pepper. And it's really nice. I love things that are citrusy. So I'm going to be enjoying that today with this. Really, really, really good. But yeah, for anyone who is new, my name is Myles Dyer. I host this show every Wednesday this time, right now, when you're watching it. Although if you're watching it on replay, too bad. But I'm glad that you're watching on replay. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I know not everyone can tune in this time every week. Sometimes we talk about fun things. Maybe it's movies we've seen, games, or we do quizzes, which I can now say because last week we had the Christmas quiz that went down really well, actually, and actually made me think it's a good item to do maybe once a quarter, every 3 months. I think that could be cool. But sometimes we talk about serious things, world events, life hacks, mental health and well-being, all the good stuff. But today, being the last Wednesday of the month, means it's a laid-back Q&A. I throw any script I have out the window, although that's not entirely true for today, because today is the last one, the last show of the year. So if you're new, say hi in the chat. It would be lovely to see you. But you're drinking a glass of Baileys. Did everyone have a good Christmas? Did everyone have a good Christmas? However you decided to celebrate it. Happy Wednesday indeed. Good to see you here, Callie. And Mark has already gifted a membership. Can we give it up for Mark, please? Thank you, good sir. I am actually in the process of doing all the production work for this show with my new Stream Deck setup. And something we will talk a little bit later on the show are emote ideas. We keep coming back to this. I need to get some new emotes for the membership, and you know, one of them's going to be a drum emote for every time Mark or myself or anyone else tells a joke in the chat. I think the drum has to be an emote for sure. A PSVR 2 one. I say we're going to talk about this later. We're talking about it now. A PSVR 2 emote will have to be there. And we'll have a think about what other things are. So if you've got any other ideas of what you'd like to see as the custom membership emotes, I'm going to get some commission later this week. So do let me know. Right. With that said, look, for today, we're going to have a bit of reflection. I have actually put together, because I was saying it's not about scripting for today. I have actually put together some slides where I have looked over my year and tried my best to choose one thing from each month. Now, there are some months where there was a bit of crossover, so I've crammed in a few things. It's my slides. I'm allowed to set the rules and break the rules that I've set. Just to kind of, I don't know, it's just nice. I used to do a series on YouTube called In a Vlogshell, where I used to go through my status updates and I would just read off what's been going on in the year. And yeah, it was always an emotional experience, because I was like, wow, a lot had happened this year. Sometimes of it was about world events and things that had happened, and I kind of missed doing them, but they were a massive task to film and edit and took way too long. So I ended up, I think I've still got like a timeline with the last one that never actually went out, but doing this is much easier, just choosing images and things like that. Good to see you. Glad you had a good Christmas. I actually spent it at my brother's. My brother and his other half invited us over. It was their first time hosting. They did an excellent job. The only issue was my mum got COVID a few days before, and then my dad got COVID on Christmas Day, so they both had to miss out. My mum is now testing negative. She's doing better. My dad's not been great, but he's doing better now. So yeah, it's a shame that they didn't have the best of health. Off the back of, my dad was celebrating good health because I think I mentioned it on last week's show, he just had the check from the doctors. For those that don't know, there were some cancer scares. My dad still has leukemia, but that is a longer term thing they're tracking. The more intimate thing they were worried about, he's done the tests and he's cancer clear there, which is excellent. So it was a good chance to celebrate good health, and then this happened. But there you go. It's the way it is. COVID is just annoying, to put it mildly, right? Also, I have these new lights in the ceiling that were installed that my dad actually helped me with. He did a great job. I'll actually change some of the colours now, because I'm still not entirely happy with what this one is. I think it's a bit too orangey, so let's just change that. Let's make it a bit more white. That could be better. Or could do blue. I love that. So they're pretty strong lights. Green, do a bit of green there. Bit of red maybe, bit of red darker. I think just the white. The white's good. But yeah. Good on. My dad used to be an electrician many moons ago, and my goodness, what took him maybe 15 minutes would have taken me like a week. And I probably still would not have got it done. So yeah, before I get on with my list, did anyone get anything good for Christmas? I've still got presents to open because I haven't seen my parents. Dropped off gifts there. My brother got me some lovely gym, which was nice. But I did also... for a while now, I was meaning to get some new headphones, and I've been looking at the Apple AirPods. And so with some money I got for Christmas, I added it towards this, and I actually bought... It was meant to be one item, and you end up having to buy three, because I got the third generation AirPods, which are nice. They were going to cost £189. They're not cheap. And I thought, should I get the Pros? Because to get the charger for it, this was like £45, almost £50, MagSafe charger. But it does mean I can charge my phone on it now. And they told me it's actually quicker at charging your phone when you have it on it. But you know what? It doesn't come with the plug socket. You have to buy that extra. Of course you do, Apple. So this was another £20. Had to buy this. Apple really know how to get you. And then I also got Apple Care. So if I ever lose one, over 2 years. It was like 25 quid. Over 2 years, you don't pay like 90 quid for a new one. You pay just 20 something. So, yeah, I haven't even set these up yet. But the other good thing is this time of year is when I do my tax returns, and it normally takes me days and days. But I feel like a much better functioning human being, I think, because of my full-time job this year, and I managed to get it all done. Obviously, practice has helped out a lot as well, but I got it done in one day. Not only that, but the tax man says, you owe us minus, and they owe me quite a bit of money. So that made me feel good as well. Yes, that is exactly right, Izzard. The charge is separate because many people already have a USB-C port, and that's it. And USB-C ports exist, obviously, on computers and stuff, but when it comes to, like, your plugs and that, not so much. So, yeah, USB-C. I love on a lot of modern plug sockets, they do have, like, the USB ports. We need the USB-C ports now, right? You got lottery scratch cards from one of family members as a joke, as didn't want anything pricey. You won over £120. Whoa! Karina. Actually, it deserves more of this. So did you buy £120 worth of scratch cards? That's cool, though. Scratch cards are cool. It's a bit of fun. And the fact you won 120 is amazing. Hey, Bryan. Good to see you here, dude. Dude. This is going to make us... what kind of year do you feel it's been, Bryan? Has it gone quick? Has it gone slow? Because me starting on PSVR without Parole, co-hosting with the wonderful Bryan on Fridays, that started this year. So, you know what? Yeah, it is... going back to the USB-C thing, it is a pain. It is a pain. But we will prevail. We will stick with it. Right. I will get these slides up now. So, here we go. So, this is the timeline. Obviously, that is only one part of it. I have actually gone through, and there we go. April was when PSVR without Parole brought me on board. It was actually the 1st of April was the first show, because I think it was announced on the 28th of March. And, yeah, that's not the only thing, because there's the next bit. So, you ready to see this? I've got to work out where to put myself, because I can put myself on camera. Here I am. I'll put myself on this side. I might have to move myself around a bit. So, I want to hear about what your years have been. What have been your highlights? What have been your lowlights? We'll talk all about that. But maybe as some inspiration, this is what my year has been in a summary, okay? So in January, I say illness strikes. It struck on New Year's Eve. And I just got over it when I got off tour with my band. I had the shivers in like November time. Recovered like within like 5 days, but still felt terrible for 2 weeks. Hit me on New Year's Eve. I didn't get rid of this until March, and it was horrible. Every 3 to 4 days, I was getting the shivers. Had no idea what it was. So what did I do on New Year's Eve? That was me with Lemsip. So that's technically 2021, but I was really ill throughout January. Really, really, really bad. February was the launch of my band's last album. Unity in Time. It had been a long time coming, and it was amazing to have our album finally come out. So that happened in February. In March, I left the world of self-employment, although I still work technically self-employed with what I do here on YouTube and things like that. I'll still be doing my self-assessment and stuff like that. But I joined the cybersecurity company CybSafe. I think I started on like March 21st or something like that. Best album ever. You are so kind, Mojo. And yes, Callie, that was exactly what it was. So yeah, this was... oh, look at me with that small little stream deck I had. But yeah, I started a new job, and I've been with them for 9 months now. So this was a really... It was amazing. I felt really good about it. Joe, who hired me, amazing boss. It's so cool to be working with him, and Hey, yeah, and I'm thank you for the positivity. Yeah, it's amazing how time flies with all of this. Um, Back in February, we didn't know it was going to be the final Schemata album. You didn't. I suspected it could have been because by that point we were already having chats. Yeah, we wanted to end on a high. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for the congrats on that. So yeah, March. Then April. And I actually found the first episode, and I was actually starting to watch it, and it was amazing because Bryan was just like, "Yeah, so you're Myles. Like, what are you doing here?" And I'm here going, I guess I'm here to tell really bad jokes. Isn't that right, Bryan?" And he went, "No," and I went, "What? What was that, Bryan? I didn't hear that." And I've been telling bad jokes ever since. But yeah, honestly, Bryan giving me the chance to co-host has been one of the biggest joys of this year. I've been having an amazing time. It's an amazing community. It's something I've believed in for a very, very long time. And yeah, 9 months of the job, 8 months with PSVR without Parole. Although, I pretty much did this only a couple weeks after my new job. But yeah, honestly, I love Bryan. Such a good dude and an amazing community. And obviously some of you are from that community. And considering it's been a year where there's been maybe a handful of games released for the platform and we've got a new console, new headset coming out next year, my goodness, things are going to get really, really exciting. And I was actually listening to the Digital Foundry podcast earlier, and they were saying that this year had been difficult for them. Hey, Kaywa, good to see you here. The Christmassy Game Cat. It's good to see you. Digital Foundry had said it's been a difficult year for them, but one where there had been growth because people are eager to know what comes next. And that is even more so, I think, with PlayStation VR. So yeah, April, what an amazing month. It's great to be a part of that. May. So May, my grandmother passed away at the end of April, but the funeral was in May. I actually took a photo of that just before coming on, and my nan looked good, and that was something I didn't expect to be thinking about when I was at her funeral. Was thinking, God, my nan was hot when she was little. Yeah, it was good to remember Audrey Reveler. She was the last of my grandparents to be alive. She had dementia for about 10 years, and she lived into her 90s. My nan was very, very old-fashioned. She was very innocent and adorable. I think when I was very little, it annoyed me, and I used to mess her about. But I think with age, I kind of respected her for that, and understood it more. Just growing with age. And on the right is with my brother, and then with my mum. We went down to Plymouth, which is where I used to go every year to see my nan. And that was where the funeral was, to see my auntie Leslie and the family. And it was a really nice ceremony. And it was just nice to pay tribute. This is just a part of life. And she was a fighter. I mean, she lived a long time with really bad dementia. And what I found quite interesting about it was, often the most heartbreaking part. I love all of this. She does. And also, it was a side of my nan I didn't really know, because she always seemed very old school and there. And I'm like, nah, she was proper trendy. Love a bit of retro. Can't you change your name for 9 days? Is that how it works? Hang in there. Let the Christmas spirit continue. But yeah, like, when one of the most heartbreaking parts of dementia is when they're in that middle ground where they kind of know what's going on. And my nan had lost a lot of her sight anyway. But she, did the thing of like, can I go home? When can I go home? Can I go home with you? And what I realised was that during the pandemic, it actually, you could always lie to them anyway, but it was during the pandemic I realised, wow, this is actually a good reason to tell them, which was you can't go home because there's a pandemic and we have to keep everyone safe. And I realised that when that was happening, it made it a lot easier to talk to her about it. But I always had good calls with her, and I know it was very difficult for my mum, just because it's never nice seeing a parent going through that where they don't recognise you anymore. But it was a good ceremony, and I'm proud of my mum because her, and I'm proud of my auntie Leslie because they both gave really nice speeches, and their mum would be proud. Hey Marty, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Just doing a recap of the year. June. Okay, so June was the first big project I worked on when I joined CybSafe, and it was called Peepsec, and it was a 20-person like virtual conference. And Zoe, who you can see on the right, she actually left CybSafe to start working at an animal sanctuary. And I loved working with her. She was organising getting people down there. I was sort of responsible for directing, and I did some of the interviews. And I actually got the Unsung Hero Reward because it was such a success, and everyone was really impressed with my tenacity. It was really difficult, though, because it was 20, 30-minute conversations that I had to review all of them and get checked, and then it was a massive project, one that I came in halfway through. We'll be doing this again next year, should I say? That'll be here sooner rather than later. I'm a bit nervous about it, but it was a really good event, and it really helped establish me in the company and made me feel that I'd proven myself. So yeah, it was nice. And if you haven't seen it already, just go to peepsec.com. You just sign up with your details, and there are 20 conversations there. A couple of them that I hosted. One actually was with Ozalache, who is our CEO and founder, who is an incredible individual, someone I'd love to get on the show here in the new year, but being a CEO, very busy man, so whether we can make that happen, I don't know. But I've actually had a lot of thoughts lately about the Quest for Global Empathy podcast, and I found a solution, but hold me to that. We'll talk about that later. Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot there, but it's really, 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 really cool. Sweet. July. Okay, July. A lot of people haven't seen that middle photo just because I didn't share it publicly. July was a great moment for pause because I was in A&E. I don't even know if I talked about it on here, but I went to A&E on a Friday night because I occasionally get, heart palpitations and things like that. But it was really bad to the point that I spoke with someone and they said, go down to A&E. Nips oot. Oh man, I zoomed myself in there. Okay. Yeah, I know. Never show myself topless normally. But I had ECG. I had so many blood tests and I checked out fine. And it was a big relief because I was not in a good place. And I think it was a mixture of burnout. And I think it was a lot of other things. There was a lot of disruption going on in my life at the moment. My nan had passed away. So it's even things that, when you feel that you've been able to deal with them, beneath perhaps not so much. I just come out doing Peepsec, where I'd been working weekends and things like that. So it was a mixture of that going on. And I realised I need to slow down. And the photo on the right was just... going to put that over there, or that side, should I say. I had a massive clear out of clothes and stuff, and I realised that for many, many years I hadn't had a clear out at home, and it felt really cathartic and good to have that process of clearing through everything. So yeah, July was a real moment of pausing and reset for me, I found. Lots of people talking about dementia and things like that. Yeah, I definitely would have posted about it on IG. I think that one on the left actually is from Instagram and things like that. And absolutely, Hannah, Burnout. And I had that in December as well, which is why I'm glad to have some time off. Today I went for a flotation tank session, so I'm feeling pretty chilled right now, which is really, really nice. So that was July. August. Oh man, this is a really, really interesting mix. So my band went on tour, And what you can see on that second photo was the first journey we made from Reading all the way up to Newcastle. Had an amazing show there. But that third photo, I don't think I've shown this on here. I did that to the van. I'd never driven a van before. As we were heading to the first show from the hotel, I was coming out. I managed to reverse, get out, but then there was a bollard, and I still remember it now. Going so slow round the corner, and I just heard a crunch. Got out, and that was the damage I could see on it. And I was like, oh. And Mario, who you can see on the van on the left, he was in the car. And I remember he said to me on the van, do you want to drive it? Do you want me to drive it? And I was like, no, I'll be fine. Obviously, I regret that. And then the next day, he did damage on the same side of the van, on the same part that I did, which made me feel, because he's someone who's driven a van many times, kind of made me feel better about it, even though it's terrible overall. Yeah, it was an expensive mistake. And I remember I was like, I don't want Hugh and Luke, who'd gone down to the venue, to see this, so I'd rather like let them know about it slowly. But as we were pulling outside the venue, they were on the other side of the road. So at the traffic lights, we literally stopped with the side of the van that had the damage on it facing them. There was no way they weren't going to see it. And they were like, oh my God. Because on a black van, you know what? Damage like that looks really fucking obvious. It cost a lot of money. Like, it cost me about just under £1,000. So yeah, financially ruined from that tour. Not good. And medically ruined, because have you ever seen a stronger red line on a COVID test? I got COVID. It was the first time I had COVID, the only time I've had COVID. I got it on this tour as well. It was an amazing tour, played some great shows. We headlined a festival, but came back with COVID, came back with financial ruin. And Adam says, as a seasoned van driver, bollards are dicks. Well, I appreciate that solidarity. Thank you very much. I am never going to financially recover from this. Yeah, it really did feel like that way. Yeah, it was terrible. So anyway, had a good tour, but the van and COVID, not good. September, filming. I was just super busy with work. And this was a day where I had a studio rented out with a great crew from Ideal Insight. And I had scripted, because I wanted to make the most of the day, I scripted about 60 videos. I had a teleprompter, and I managed to do all of them in a day. It was literally back-to-back videos. Yeah, it was about 60 videos. And that was me at the end. Pretty exhausted, if you ask me. So I did that as a joke. But yeah, it was a really good month. October. So these were two things. Right at the end of October was our final show. And as you know, it was an amazing show. I've just moved the photo to that side there. Yeah, an amazing show. But I also went on vacation. Had a proper vacation. I went to Bucharest, which I loved. Met an amazing award-winning photographer who took amazing photographs. Awesome guy. Oh, I just realised it zoomed in. Whoops. Amazing guy. Had a great time. The food there was amazing. The food was super... Oh, man. The pizza there. That was, I think it was a Danish burger place. And I asked them, just get me whatever dessert you want. It was one of the best burgers I've ever had. That dessert was incredible. And then I met a longtime friend of mine, Emma, who I've always fucking adored. And we've known each other online for about 7-8 years. We hung out. It was great. She showed me loads of really good Romanian food. And we're going to hang out again next year. So it was a good coming together of all my favourite things, like learning about the culture, getting to do a photo shoot, explore things on my own accord, meeting friends. Bucharest was just amazing, and I highly recommend it to anyone. It's cheap and therefore good value for money because there's so much to do there. So yeah, had a really good time. Yeah, meeting with friends is always great. Always great. And then ending with our final show It was amazing. And actually, in the last week, my band's final show. Do you want me to show it now? Should I show this now? Some of you may not have seen this. My band have released our final music video with footage from the show. Do you want to see it? Oh, it does. And if you want to see the guide, head over to my Instagram account, and there is a playlist that is called Bucharest. I thought you might have, Mojo. Yeah, let's show this. I don't know if it's going to play properly because it's like a 4K video. Should we do this? This is actually for one of the heaviest songs on our album called Prism. And Prism is this, like, Prism is where light comes in and reflects. And it's a song about the status economy, that when it comes to the online world, it's all about building up your status. People like to build themselves up and tear other people down. And so status is a prism with incoming light. It's fight or flight. Those are some of the lyrics. But it's the idea that we can reflect it. And it's about positioning ourselves within society. So, matching tattoos. Oh, man. I'll get a tattoo that says Mark has gifted a membership. How about that, right? So, yeah, I appreciate this is not for everyone's taste. And if anything, with this song in particular, people are going to be especially if you're watching this and you've never heard my band, you're probably going to be in for a bit of a shock because you're like, what? Myles does that? But it's a 3-minute song. So this is footage from our last ever show. Enjoy it. It's Prism.
This is life, where we wander outside. It's how I am. It's what they want. It's what they want. Evolving identity, pressured by those looking in. Status is talking for the ghost that be. It's who I am. It's who they need. It's what they want. It's what they want. Evolving sense of self, always doubted by someone else. Faceless oceans breathe. Annoying the essence of who I am. Weaponizing oceans. The essence of who I am. Stasis is a prison with incoming light. It's fight or flight. Traversing the world, it requires your skin eroding away. Wearing a thin, letting that short, and it only wants more. Collapsing your sky, consuming your floor. Consuming your floor. Faceless oceans breathe. Annoying the essence of who I am. Weaponizing oceans. The essence of who I am. Heart, mind, and soul. Only I know what's inside, so only I can speak true to the world. The footsteps no longer fight. No control how we're betrayed. From ourselves we can't be afraid. We must touch the shadows. 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 Faceless oceans breathe. Annoying the essence of who I am. Weaponizing oceans. The essence of who I am.
There we go. Someone was mentioning nice camera work. unbelievably good camera work. Loki Films, he works with a lot of the biggest artists around the world, and he did our videos for Mind Eater and Voices, and we just wanted him to turn up. He has a great camera. What is remarkable was we only played that song once, and he got so much footage of us doing the vocals on that song. It does make me regret at the end when people were asking for an encore not doing that song again, because we could have got a lot more crowd shots and things like that. But from what he did with just one take, absolutely incredible. Couldn't have asked for a better person. Izzard was saying a bit Linkin Parky. Well, funnily enough, actually, we did play a Linkin Park song at the gig. I don't actually have the footage in front. Actually, I got a bit of the rappy stuff, which was this. Yeah. Rubber says, why do Brits lose their accent when they sing? For real, though, good shit. Well, funny enough, I actually would push back and say that Luke doesn't lose. He does sound very British when he sings. And the reason why is, to your point, is when I've always said the American accent is a widening of the vowels. So, like I say, can I have some water? And they go, can I have some water? It's like water. It's like the widening of the vowel. Water, water. And sort of Australian is somewhere in between. And so when you're singing and you're opening up a note, you're you're more likely to, as a result, sing an American accent. At least that's my theory, anyway. But just need a jazz breakdown. Well, funny enough, in one of our old songs, if I show you one of our very old songs, we had some really cool stuff in the middle that I think you'd like. This was actually a song called 6 into 3. Let me find it. I'll just play the middle bit. Music videos. Let's have a look. God, not played this for a long time. Dry lung rhetoric. 6 into 3. I filmed this. I'll play the middle bit.
Rewards to all, at least to all who matter.
But yeah, it's cool. We had a lot of mixes in our music. I was just trying to get you the I know 10 years ago, man. Yeah, look, I got this. This was another clip from that Linkin Park one. I love this clip, and then we'll move on. Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm making a decision this month on whether to continue with my musical journey. I'm gotta let Hugh know by the end of the year. And it's so difficult, man. Oh man, it's so difficult. I'm gonna really miss playing that music. It certainly does. It certainly does. Right. Going back here. Right. October. November. Okay. I love this screenshot. So, as I mentioned, my dad was having health scares. He had to have some surgeries. He had to have a growth removed from his bladder. There was a lot going on and a lot to worry about. And this text he sent me, I just think is adorable. And I wanted to share it. I haven't asked him. I'm sure he doesn't mind me showing him in a gown. But he texts this, out of surgery, and as you can see, awake, so all good. Love, Dad. Yeah, it was a big relief. And this was before we got the all clear. There were still some worries, because after having this surgery, they had to check the growth. And they also said that they don't think it's responsible for some of the symptoms he was facing. So that's why they had to have additional checks and stuff like that. But yeah, November was definitely a month where I was very heavily focused on my dad, and it was having a big impact on me. I was definitely dealing with burnout and things like that. And then finally, December. December was the month, as you know from this show, AI fascination and giving this studio an upgrade. So those two lights on the ceiling, you can see on the photo there. And you can also see one of the posters to my right that you don't ever get to see, which is from Doom, of the Revenant. But you see the Spider-Man one in shot. But yeah, I also, in the past week, let's remove that now. I actually moved this forward. This was actually much further back, but so I'm always blocking it. I've now moved it forward, and it's going to be a lot better. I still need to rearrange it and work it out, but I think that this is a lot better, right? I'm happy. There's still a lot of improvements to be made here, but the studio is improving, and I'm really happy about it. So, with that said, going back over it, this was my 2022. So, not feeling great in January. February was the launch of our album. March, I started a new job. April, I started hosting on PSVR without Parole. In May, said goodbye to my grandmother. In June, launched the big project, Peepsec. In July, I had a health scare. August, went on tour. Got COVID. September was filming so much. October, went to Bucharest. November, had my dad on my mind all the time. And then December was upgrading my studio. So, yeah, that was 2022 in a nutshell. Few things left to talk about on the show before we wrap this up for this year. But while I'm going through this, have a think about what have been your highlights and lowlights of your year. Let me know now, actually, in the chat. Would love to hear. But two things. One is I'm going to be in the process of closing down Patreon in the next week or two. I'm going to be updating it tomorrow, hopefully. And I've actually got this to be sending out loads of shirts that I've been meaning to send out. So that's really, really important. But also about the quest for empathy. I've been really worried about letting go of the quest for global empathy because I think it's a really important podcast. And I've just been like, but I don't know how to do it. And I realised from this course that I'm on, I've been able to flesh it out because the quest for empathy is a big core of what I do here. And so this is what I think is going to happen. And I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, everyone. Occasionally on this show, we will have a guest on. But if they're available for a long period of time, I will just do a long form interview with them. And so it will be a Myles Dyer live episode. But then what I will do is I will publish it on the podcast platforms as a Quest for Empathy podcast. I will record an intro and an outro, audio only. And it just means that you can either watch the interviews on Myles Dyer live or it'll be available on Quest for Empathy as the audio version. I think that's going to be a great way of doing it. So that's the first thing. Second thing that's on my mind, and I'm going to be reading what everyone's saying, so keep typing it, is in January is going to be the launch of The Last of Us TV series. I'm so excited for it. I played the prologue and the first main chapter on this show, and it went down really well. I don't own it, but I'm thinking of maybe renting it again. And I was thinking of maybe doing a daily live stream on this channel, same time as this show, so every day of the week except Wednesdays. And I believe there are 12 chapters, so it will probably start on, looking at the dates now, probably, what would it be? It would have to start, it's going to be the 16th in the UK, so it'd probably have to start next Tuesday. But I'm thinking of maybe doing a chapter a day on this channel. What do you think about that? Would you tune in if I do a chapter a day of The Last of Us Part 1? I completed it recently, so I'm very familiar with it. I think I can get through it pretty quick. But I think that could be a really good series to do on here. So that is the second thing on my mind. Third thing on my mind is I want to get some new emojis made for the channel. So if you have any ideas, the only two I've got at the moment is the drums and the PSVR 2 one. But let me know about that. Anyway, I'm going to read up. Good to see you here, Bad Robbo. Thank you for tuning in. Let's have a look here. What did everyone say about their year? And thank you. Glad you liked that. February was my high point. Got me a couple of pub-related anecdotes over the span of 2 days, which I'll not go into details. They're pretty extensive and full of language I'd rather not type here, but then that's good to know. My highlights being a part of this great community and making friends with people. Honestly, I love having you all here. I would just be talking to myself if it wasn't for you. And this show is growing year on year. I mean, right now there are 25 people tuned in, that would normally be like a breaking peak. Which is unbelievable. So the fact that there are 25 of you right now is amazing, and it just shows that there is momentum with this, and I really thank you so much. I think next year is going to be a great year. One of the things I'm going to be working on over the next few days is my content strategy. So basically working out what I'm going to be posting each day of the week on my social media channels, and then also getting to a point where on Saturdays I will start a mailing list where I will email every one of you that signs up to it, something I'll have to pay for, and it will recap the last show that we've done, and then it will also say, and here's what's coming up, and so it'll just be a nice little weekly email, and then it have links to other things that I'm working on and things like that. So I think that could be really good. And if you're watching right now, firstly, I want to say, even if you're not typing and you're just watching, I love you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, because you make this what it is, and you're the reason that I invest what I do into making this a thing. And secondly, stick around for 5 more minutes, because we're going to play a word game, and the more of us that are here, the greater the chance we have of finally getting to level 20. How good would it be if we ended the year on getting to level 20? Oh my goodness. So what I'll say is, for the next 5 minutes, if you know anyone online, Discord communities, maybe you have friends that you can text that like word games, or on social media that you see that are online right now, or maybe you're texting someone, tell them to come here right now and just say, hey, don't have to explain. Just come into the chat, log into YouTube. We need your help. If we can get over 30 people here, I think we can do it. Oh, I got a chocolate orange for Christmas. I'm excited to tuck it into that. Yeah, much love for the show. I really appreciate it. Oh man, can you imagine? I'm sure you could imagine, otherwise you wouldn't have suggested it. Right, I'm just having a look here. Lots about the Mark interviews. Yes, please continue the playthrough. All right. Okay, I'm going to, after this show, I'm going to try and get it sent to me ASAP, because I was waiting for the Callisto Protocol, but I don't think that's coming. I bet you it gets sent tomorrow, just as I was asking for this. So yeah, and I actually sent back the Last of Us Part 1. I actually went into the shops today to try and buy a copy, but it's still 60 quid, which I'm not paying for it. But yeah, all right. The Last of Us, we'll do it as a daily live show on here. And it'll be really punchy as well, so it'll be good. Unfortunately not. I don't believe so. I don't believe there's any more physical copies of them, unfortunately. 55 days until PSVR 2. Also, this is all I'm allowed to say, I think. I've had to sign an NDA. I'm going to Stockholm in Sweden in January. And, I mean, it's very related to what I've just mentioned. Stay tuned. I can't believe it. It's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be really, really, really good. You're finally playing Part 2. Amazing. I loved Part 2. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Glad I can make it in before the end of the year. Ups and downs, but such with every year. Just keep friends in your life, everyone. Shit. Keep friends. Yeah, absolutely. It's about the people you spend it with. Absolutely. And a lot of people are concurring what you're saying. Yeah, imagine that. A level 20. Look, we're down to 22 people now, so we're actually going backwards. Maybe everyone's gone to get other people, but probably not. So, yeah. The Mark and Myles show. You love The Last of Us. Well, we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do this. Not telling you. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I've never been to Stockholm. I hear it's really nice, but really, really expensive. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. I'll be there in a few weeks' time. And it's going to be amazing. Ah, I see. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you for stopping by. Yeah, and give the like button a hit if you haven't already. All right, everyone. This is it for the year. The final episode of Myles Dyer Live. Episode 75. Wow, this has come a long way. And do you know what? Let's just have a look here at how far it has come, because if I load up here, do you know I just bought a Mac cleaner? What's it called? Clean My Mac X. Hasn't deleted a lot, but it's deleted the right stuff. My Mac is so much faster now. It's amazing. Let's have a look. Well, let's do the maths. What was the first episode of the year? I can find out. Final show of 2021. Oh, no, it didn't have a number on it then, did it? Oh, let's find this out. Oh, I can just scroll down and find this out. Here we go. Time for a rebrand. That happened this year. Okay, here we go. So the first one of the year was plans and goals for the new year. And check this out. Is it going to load? Yeah, here we are. This was... Oh, I had my little hat on. Look, you can see some of you in the chat on the side. Look at that. This is how the show used to look at the start of the year. This was what the show looked like at the start of the year. How far has it come, guys? Look how dark it was. And you guys tuned in. Amazing, huh? I know. This was a year ago. Look at the change that has happened in a year. And when I did share screen, like I'm doing now. I know, right? So where are we going to be a year from now? And did we actually have the end credits? No, we didn't. We didn't even have the end credit thing. Look at this. Yeah, we didn't even have the end credit thing. Amazing. Amazing. Right. Yeah, it's come a long way. And now you can see the spot on my nose. Whee. Oh, by the way, behind me, before I stop. No, actually, I'll save it for the post-credits. I've shown it on the PSVR without Parole, but this little burger thing. I don't think I had end credits then, Callie. I'm looking now. Yeah, I'm looking. I didn't. I just ended it, and that was it. I know, you'd think so, though. Hey, welcome. Hey, by the way, anyone that's been dragged along, thank you for being dragged along. I really appreciate it. Hopefully not going to let you down. Thank you, Paul. Trying to do an AJ. Yeah, honestly, anyone that's just joined, thank you for joining. You are needed, and you were chosen to come here by your friends and family because you are special, you are talented, and you are good with words. We are about to play a game, and the objective to end the year is to get to level 20. Do you know what? I'm even going to tweet this out now. Do you know what? Let's tweet this out now. Think you could? I mean, yeah, it always blocks it. Basically, once this Christmas tree goes, I can move it all around. So, yeah. No, that's a good call. And by the way, I'm responding to this for anyone that's wondering. Okay. Oh, thank you. This is a very laid-back show compared to normal. Normally, it's like a bit more organised with like actual things decided upon. But yeah, no, that means a lot. Right. Okay, Twitter. If you are reading this as, oh man, it's just as I tweet, I need your help. My weekly live show ends with a word game where everyone in the chat can play. We have never been able to get to level 20 before. It's difficult, but with your help, we could end the year finally doing it. Right, okay, Twitter, if you're reading this right now, I need your help. My weekly live show ends with a word game where everyone in the chat can play. We have never reached level 20 before. It's difficult, but with your help, we could end the year. Okay, right. So I've used too many characters. If you're reading this right now, I need your help. Right, okay. All right, guys, this is how it's going to work. If you are typing in the chat, it means you can play. What's going to happen is on screen, you're going to see a list of letters, and we have to find out what are all the words you can make with those letters. There are blank spaces at the bottom half of the screen, And those are all the words that are possible. They're in alphabetical order, which can help you discover the ones that you need to do. And that's pretty much it. But as we get through to higher and higher levels, they start adding rules in. First of all, there is a fake letter, which means one of the letters you're not supposed to use. But we communicate. Whoever finds the longest word, you then can see which letter isn't in it. Okay, that's the fake letter. That's the one we don't use. Later on, there's a hidden letter. That means there is a letter that is not revealed that we do need to use. We need to work that one out as well. And then finally, oh yeah, and if you're on Twitter right now, retweet my tweet and like it. Would really, really appreciate it. I put we have never breached level 20 before. It does definitely feel that way. And also, the more we get right, the more stars you get. If you get 3 stars, you skip 3 levels. 2 stars, skip 2 levels. Yada, yada, yada. All right, we're ready to go. And this is how we're going to end the year. Can we do it? This game gets so difficult. And that is correct. Right, so let me share the screen. And you just type, the chat is just going to get really messy. It's going to get really messy because everyone's going to be typing stuff. So let me get some music going. Sorry, just leaving this out of the way. Yeah, I expect that as well, Hannah. Mark is always getting the top ones. Are we ready, guys? Let's do this. Look, the record is level 19. Can we get to level 20? Let's end the year good, guys. Let's do this. And if you're just joining us, thank you. Epilogue, wow. Epilogue, great one. And for those that haven't played this before, when you get a correct answer, you will not be able to submit any more answers until the padlock has disappeared next to your name. So you want to get as many correct guesses as early as possible. But you see the bar that's going down? When it hits a padlock, it unlocks everyone, so people are back in the game. I've done terrible this round. And all of the words down there are in alphabetical order. So we need a few more 4-letter words beginning with G. And maybe I. No, Igloo's double O. If there's ever an S in there or a D, you know, adding it at the end can be pretty good. 2 more left, guys. 4 letters. Beginning with an L maybe, or an O. Okay, L. Oh, there we go. That was solid. That was solid. Here we go. Oh, you beat me to rain. Why is ring not allowed? Okay, it was letting me that time. Sometimes you've got to type it twice. One more. Wow, look at this. Gene, well played. Not getting cocky though, because when you think things are going really well, look at that. Well done, everyone. Let's keep going. X's, I can't do it yet because it's locked me out. EXES. Exceeds, great one. Yeah, beat me. Okay, I'm back in now. S is good. If you see someone use a word and they haven't added the S, or maybe remove the S. So Dex, D-E-X-E. I don't know if that is one, but you could try it. Oh, there you go. There was a fake letter, Q, so don't use Q. But we weren't going to use it because there's no U. And welcome anyone that's just joined. Appreciate the help. No. Begins with C or D? D sex. Well done. 3 stars every step of the way, everyone. And there's some people joining still. Thank you for joining. Love your support. We can do this. There's a fake letter. Oh, this is going to be tough. Not many words to choose from. Early, great one. Layer. This is a tune. Yeah, okay, everything's flowing now, so do not use B. B is the fake letter. Four-letter words left. 2 4-letter words left, beginning with A, E, or L. Earl. Okay, 1 4-letter word beginning with an A or an E. Well done. More people are still joining. If you're joining, I want to thank you. We have really gone for this all year. Let this be the one. We're halfway there now. We're starting level 13. And give it up for Big Hairy Marty, who just did. He cleared 100. Let's keep going. There's a fake letter and there is a hidden one. Is it Venom? So the fake letter, I think, might involve N. I think N is the fake letter. Yes, it is. N is the fake letter. Do not use N. And U is the hidden letter. Use U. Should probably easier if I write it like this. Oh, we've done that one. Okay, a 4-letter word beginning with M, O, U, or V. Oh. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. Have a quick breather. Let's do this. It's only 5-letter words or more now. Oh, rubber fingers. Don't want to jinx it. Five letters or more. It's good to know about Leisha. Right. At least S is allowed to be used. Erupts. Wow. Okay, G is G fake letter equals G. Hidden letter equals... What is the fake? What is the hidden letter? U. There we go. I got it. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. Okay, T. T or U. 5-letter word beginning with T or U. Terps. Well done. Guys. Turning the music down now. Can we just take this moment in? Hit the like button if you haven't already, by the way. And if you are new, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. Doing this every Wednesday. Hope you all have a wonderful new year. This is it. We are now on the level that we have never got past. Now, I'm going to explain to you what it's going to do because this is a really evil rule. So, we're going to have the hidden letter. We're going to have the fake letter. They have to be 5 letters or more. The thing that they're going to do this time is when you guess a word correctly and it puts it on the board, it's not going to tell us what that word was. So I'm going to have to be looking carefully in the chat and working out when someone gets their name on the board, what word did they say? This can get very confusing, but yeah, this can be very brutal. We've got to rounds like this before where no one has got anything. So we need to just keep our eyes in the chat, okay? So I'm going to get some music on that's going to be a bit more game show-esque. Could we make history for Myles Dyer Live today? In 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everyone. Let's do this. Right. Bidet. It's a T. T is a hidden letter. I believe T is a hidden letter. I hopefully haven't got that wrong. Correct me if I have. E is fake. Okay. There we go, guys. We've got all the stuff we need. Okay, so E isn't fake. Or one of them is, which would be really evil. Here we go. No, B is fake. Yeah, look, that game is brutal. As soon as you get to level 19, but can I just say, that is the best we've ever done on that level. Like, we absolutely smashed it. Like, before it even revealed everything, we had a good sense of what things were. So, yeah, look, 2023 is the year to beat level 19. It really is. I mean, the difficulty curve goes up so much. But first, let me just go back to here, because this is always really important. And just to say, even if you didn't make it onto the board, don't worry about it, because just by suggesting words, you might be inspiring someone who didn't think of something at first and then did get it. So it's a team game. So yeah, right at the bottom, here we go. Everyone here. And especially if it was your first time playing along. So yeah, a big shout out to everyone there. And I get the advantage because I see it slightly before you do as well. Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, a huge shout out to everyone. Look, this is tough. And if you are new to this live show, this time every Wednesday. So if you know other people that are into word games, get them to come along, because what is next Wednesday going to be? It's going to be January the 4th. January the 4th. So yeah. Maybe next week we'll do the show, and then I will do the Last of Us straight afterwards. I got to work it out. I got to work it out how I'm going to do it. But yeah. So as Mojo says, great effort, and that's awesome. No, anyone that stopped by, thank you very, very much. And yeah, that wraps it up for today's show. Everybody, look, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone, not only for tuning in today, but for those of you that have joined me throughout this year. If you were someone who was here right from the beginning of the year as we entered it, or you're someone that joined halfway through, or maybe this is your first time today, you're all important to me. I'm grateful for every single one of you, and you are the reason that I invest the time, the energy, and even more so recently, the money that I have into this studio, because I love doing this, and I've got some really exciting plans for the new year. We've had a couple of guests on, but it's something that I'm going to make on a more regular basis. Same goes with the quizzes. And then if I can get this emailing list up and running, it just means that we can have a bit more of a sense of topics, so you can get an idea of what topics are coming up for the shows. And yeah, it can be a bit more of a conversation. So with all that said, I want to wish you all, I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas break. I hope that you're all being really, really good to yourselves. And I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful entry into the new year 2023. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, I love this. New Year's resolution. Enough viewers to brute force words on stream. I agree. I concur. That is perfect. But as always, when we end the show, I say as always, clearly when looking at the first episode of the year, we didn't start off with this. We like to end with credits for your chance to leave with any final thoughts that you have. And if you stick around a bit longer after the credits, you might see me again to talk about what this little thing is right here. Oh my goodness, Paul! Paul! Can we just give it up? Do you know what I like? Is Paul literally could have just typed that in the chat. Someone could have just, look at this. This is absolute. Do you know what? I'm going to put these in the credits. But for now, I want to say a massive, massive thank you to Paul. Thank you. That wasn't loud enough. Let's do it again. I'm going to credits. Let's go through who was lucky enough to get gifted membership for Myles Dyer Live. Love you and leave you. Have a great week all.
Saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Hey everyone, wow. Well, I just gifted 10 as well. I don't know who it's going to go to. I don't know if there's anyone left in the chat, to be honest. But I just thought, yeah, solidarity with Paul. Huge thank you. And to Mark, who has gifted so many during the year. This is just a great chance, I guess, to sort of recap and also express thanks once more for everyone that's tuned in. Also, the thing I love about membership is it always shows who has actually been in the chat and not said anything. I know some people like to take a back seat. Got Jody there, lots of old friends of mine, but I love you all and I don't expect people to speak out. You're totally welcome just to tune in and chill. But, you know, always send me a text sometime. I love hearing from you. Yeah, look, let's see what's going on here. I gifted myself, did I? Well, yeah, I'm technically not a member of my own show, so I guess that could change, right? I'm glad that I never got a gifted membership from someone else, because I would have felt really, really bad about that. Are they still coming through? How does this work? But make sure you click the allow. But yeah, gifting yourself is a great idea. It certainly is. How do you accept a gift? Well, for me in the chat, it does say it has this. When someone does a membership, next time you could be a lucky recipient, allow gifts. It should say that in the chat, so I don't know. Yeah, that's the only thing that I can see. I don't know if it's just going to gift people after the live show when people come in. I don't know how it's going to work. But yeah. Anyway, last thing before I go. The new addition to my background, and yeah, I will be moving this around a little bit. I need to basically work out the new sort of layout. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite with friends lately, and the character I play as is the Der Burger Man. Beef Boss, he's called. Is he gonna come into focus? There he is. Absolutely horrific looking guy. But I like playing as him because he's fucking weird. His tongue flaps about and he's funny. So yeah, it's not going to focus anymore. He's such a small bit. But this is his van. And so I got this as a little Christmas treat for myself and something else to have in the background. So yeah, Der Burger. Honestly, this has been an amazing year, and I've been working a lot behind the scenes on just structuring my production schedule, also with work, so I'm not burning out, because the last 6 months I've been doing this course about live streaming. I've been working with some amazing people, and I've been playing a lot of catch up. Like, there's a lot of things I want to be doing that I'm not doing because I'm trying to get on top of everything. It's difficult. Whereas now with this little breather, it's been very, very helpful. And so tomorrow I'm going to be rewriting the Patreon page and then slowly winding it down, and then looking at ways to push membership, but also getting guests booked in. There's just a lot that I want to do, and I want to make sure that my social media content ties into this live show, so that maybe on a Monday I do a post that is related to the topic that we talk about on this show. So there's a lot that I've been thinking about, but I needed to do it at a time that I had a bit of a clear mind. And this has been a pretty mixed year. I've had a lot of highs, I've had a lot of lows, as I'm sure many of you can relate to. But I'm grateful for everything, because everything is an opportunity for growth. And I am in a much better place than I was a year ago. And it's actually been the first year in over a decade where I feel a real sense of momentum in my spiritual, mental well-being, which is good. I feel a sense of place, contentness, and I am a people's person. Like, people are my life, and the fact that you spend this time with me every week, I am very, very grateful for. And I wish you all nothing but wonderful final days for 2022, and I hope that you're able to take this time to reflect and invest, or at least calculate where you're going to invest your time, energy, and love in the new year. So on that note, I am going to sign off. I want to thank you all once again for tuning in. And as always, love, respect, empathy. And before I say it, if you have any thoughts on what these emojis should be for the live show, because I'm going to get another 5 made, do let me know in the comment section below, because I'm going to get some more commissioned. Adios till next time. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.